not giving what is given. Yeah, yeah. Look at me, look at me. You're looking, I taste good, but I just had to redirect my. Yeah, yeah. Look at me, look at me. You're looking, I taste good.
Hey y'all, it's your favorite big sister here, Jet Carter, and welcome to another episode of Have Y'all Seen It? And for this episode, we are binge watching Paradise. We're probably gonna do like 1 through 4 episodes, so let's get started. Girly pop. Oh, by the way, this is the 2nd season, sorry. So this is the 2nd season of Paradise. Y'all, when I say I love me some oh, what is his name? Hold on. When I say I love me some I can't believe I'm forgetting his name right now. Paradise cast. I should have wrote it down. Sterling K.Brown. I love me some Sterling K.Brown. Like, I've been loving him since This Is Us. I am definitely a fan. Him and his wife. And she's actually in the show. She's in this season, which is, I love that. I love a acting duo. Like, I love an acting couple duo like Angela Bassett and my boy Courtney B. Vance. Like, I love seeing it. And then we're black. Like, we're black wives. We're real black wives. Samuel L. Jackson and his wife. Yes, like Denzel Washington and his wife. I love me a black couple that is a acting duo because it is proven. They are proven, and these are couples that has been together for years. They inspire me. Like, I inspire to, I'm sorry, I hate to say it, everybody life ain't the same, but I inspire to be like that. I inspire that my husband is like that. Like, you know. So anyway, let's get on into the episode. It starts out with Graceland, and it basically is based on this character Annie. She plays a big part of the show. Something to the show that's very special. And Annie is this talented doctor that was raised by a mom with mental health issues, which essentially she had a fucked up child, and basically she learned to not trust people, which is a real thing. She don't trust nobody. Annie don't trust nobody. Her anxiety is bad. She ended up dropping out of medical school, and she went back to Graceland. Graceland, her mom was one of the biggest Elvis Presley fans, and so her mom ended up passing away when she was a child. Well, she dropped out of medical school. She went to Graceland and just sat there because she didn't have any family, no friends, and so she went back to what was comfortable for her. She ended up running into this dope ass black lady. You know us, you know us black women. She ended up running into this dope ass black lady who was security at Graceland. You know, we love to help people, black women. We're like, you know, we don't like to see people hurt or put down. We're gonna take up for you. So, you know, Annie crying in the car, and she's like, these old ass security guards, these old ass these old ass tour guides here keep dropping dead. Do you know anything about Elvis? And it was perfect because Annie knows everything about Elvis. Annie knows everything. She's been raised on Elvis. Her mom used to tell her little jokes about Elvis, you know. So Annie, it was perfect. It was the perfect position for Annie. And she ended up getting a job there, and that is when the apocalypse happened. But she loved that job, and so the apocalypse happened, and the black woman, I can't call her name right now. I should have wrote it down, but I may put it in the description. So it's her and Annie. Annie is with this black lady the whole time. The black lady ends up getting hurt as they're like gathering, trying to prepare themselves for this apocalypse. They're at Graceland. They're in Elvis' house. They're in the basement, and the black lady ended up getting hurt. Good thing Annie's a doctor, so she ended up nursing the black lady. But they were not prepared for the weather. They were not prepared for the things that Earth was going through at that time, and essentially the black lady did not survive. Even though Annie was nursing her well, it still was things that she needed that they didn't have. And so essentially she ended up passing away, and they ended up, I think after 45 days she passed away. And so Annie was there alone for like almost 3 years until this travelers group arrived at Graceland. And child, she was not having it, because again, Annie doesn't trust nobody. She don't trust nobody. It took her a long time to actually like Like, she spat in the dude's face that was trying to talk to her when he came in. She was like, oh hell no. But honestly, rightfully so, because during the apocalypse, it's a lot of people you can't trust. Like, it was just one of those things where it's like, should I trust this person? You know, you're taking a chance. And once he gained her trust or whatnot, she started liking him. They started, because he was cute. They started getting together, and so they ended up forming a relationship. End up doing, you know, XYZ. She got friendly with the travelers group or whatever. So they ended up sleeping together, and he wanted her to come with him so bad. She would not go. And Annie don't trust nobody. She don't give a damn. Annie wasn't going, okay? Annie had to lock herself in the room. Annie was not going, okay? She didn't care how much you beat on that door. She ain't going no damn where. So he left, and he left a little map and was saying, because he talked about going to this bunker in Colorado, and going to, she heard when he said he was going to go get Alex, kill Alex, whoever Alex was. So that was his mission. That was his mission and the travelers group mission. So he left this map to Colorado and was like, I will come back for you. But I think in his mind, he kind of knew that Annie essentially was going to go look for him, which is probably why he left that map or whatever. So he left the map or whatnot, left. Child, a couple months, I was about to say 3 years, a couple months done went by. This girl big and pregnant. She is big and pregnant with his baby. I'm talking about walking around the house just drinking tea, her little plant or whatever. I love Annie's strong will, but I will say sometimes as a woman, that kind of don't do well with us with certain things. Like, it does and it don't. So anyway, that was episode 1. And oh, you know what? That's when she finds that map, she decides that she is, oh, what it was? She looked out the window one day. She liked to go on the balcony, and she looked out and she seen like some kind of like fire or whatever, and that made her spark something in her where she was going to go look for Dylan. That's his name, Dylan. And so she decided she was gonna get on her horse and go look for Dylan. She loved this horse. This little horse came back. She let the horse go, but the horse came back to her. That's one thing about animals. Like, they know their people. Like, he came right back to her. So as she's going through, second of all, can we just give a round of applause for the person that scored this show? The music on this show is so good, and it's perfect. It matches so well. Like, it's not had me in tears a couple times. Like, the music and the scenes mixed together. But anyway, so she goes to look for Dylan and his travelers group, and she stumbles upon Isaiah. Is it Isaiah or is it Isaac? Is it Isaiah? I think it's Isaiah. Wait, y'all, let me fact check that. It's Xavier. I'm sorry. It's Xavier. I apologize. She stumbles upon Xavier. And Xavier, you know, is one of the main, that's Sterling K.Brown. He's one of the main characters in the show. And he's laid out, passed out. So she checks his pulse. She has her gun, of course, to make sure she's safe, which she's not wrong. She checks his pulse and she sees that he's alive, and then the show ends there. All right, so that's the first episode. So the second episode is Mayday, and Mayday is when Xavier, he goes and he battles like all these threats of his wife. He ends up so Sinatra ends up letting him know that his wife is alive, and she's been broadcasting, trying to get people. She's in Atlanta. His wife is in Atlanta. Xavier's wife is in Atlanta, and she's been broadcasting, trying to connect with him the whole time. And Sinatra the whole time knew that she was doing that, and it wasn't until when he came to her straight up, like threatened her, then she wants to let this man know that his wife is alive. So anyway, long story short, Xavier ends up getting in the plane. He ends up getting into a plane crash because the weather is just so bad. It's too bad to fly a plane. And these kids stumbled upon him. He broke his leg or something like that, which that was the second time he broke his leg. He broke his leg the first time, which is how he met his wife when he was in training for, I guess it was the army or something like that. So he met his wife in a hospital where he nursed her. Listen, the way that man took care of that woman, and that was not his wife at that time, that was just somebody that he was interested in. I'm talking about he stayed in the hospital to make sure he was not gonna let her go. And she told him straight up, I'm not into that. I'm not into the whole family and kids thing. I'm about my career. I'm about my career. I'm a strong black woman. I'm about my career. She was not having it. Lo and behold, I mean, some men don't give up, and they get what they want. They do. We as strong as we may try to be, if he keep trying, eventually it's gonna wear you down. But anyway, so going back to Xavier, he broke his leg, and there's these kids that lived on this boat. This little boy discovered him, and they put him on a boat or whatever. They helped him nurse himself back a little bit, not too much, because he was still kind of hurt, because he had to like pop his leg back in place and everything. And these kids were savages. Like, they didn't give a damn. They didn't care. They barely spoke, and essentially they robbed him, left him for everything. Oh, my battery's down. Hold on one second. Okay, we back. But essentially, yes, they did rob him. They ended up taking everything, like all of everything he needed. He kept saying, that's my stuff, I need it. The only thing them kids left him with was a goddamn photo of his kids. That was about it. They were savages. I mean, it was the apocalypse. They were trying to survive. They didn't care. They was trying to survive. They didn't give a damn. Oh, that's real nasty, but it's good for you apparently. So yeah, so that was that, and he ends up fighting somebody and getting stabbed really bad, and that's when he passed out. And that is how Annie ended up finding him. So that was Mayday. Okay, the next episode is the third episode, which is Another Day in Paradise. This about Sinatra. Child. So Sinatra is the vice president of Colorado at this point, and they all living in a bunker or whatever. And she ends up pretty much doing a lot of stuff behind the president back, because she felt like she was better and she was smarter, and she felt like she should be the next president. So she went and was collaborating with these different scientists till they created a big, basically Alex, they created this paradigm where it pretty much, while they're in the bunker, it's supposed to protect the bunker. And she, by any means necessary, was going to do that no matter what. No matter what nobody else said, she was going to do that. And she didn't give a damn if people had to die. She didn't give a damn how much money she had to spend. Like, that was her goal. That was what she was there for. And she ends up getting this bodyguard named Jane, and that bitch, baby, that one was nothing to be played around with. And so the whole time, like, Sinatra, her daughter doesn't know that she's Sinatra. And it wasn't until Xavier's daughter let her know, like, your mama is not who you think your mama is. Like, your mama, girl, your mama is a mess. Wait, no, did she say in this episode? I'm sorry, I'm skipping ahead. Sorry about that. But it is relating to that. So that was the third episode, y'all. The fourth episode broke my heart. Yeah, so the fourth episode is with Annie and Xavier. So Annie ends up taking him back to Graceland, where she, you know, she's a doctor, so she of course nursed him back to health. She told him he got 2 weeks to get his shit together. He got his shit together, and he ends up being a big help to her. Like, I guess she, again, Annie don't trust nobody, so I guess Annie expected for him to be just like this mean and nasty person. And he's the opposite. He's the nicest black man you ever want to meet. Like, she asked him to do something, he was like, sure, what you want me to do? I love to hear black men say that. Not saying he should be a yes man, but just like, because sometimes, you know, like, and not just a black man, any man, sometimes you can ask somebody to do something, they're like, like they don't want to do it. Like, who wants to hear that? And people get tired of just doing shit on their own. Like, sometimes you just want to hear, sure, I'll do it for you. Because we do. As women, we do. Most of the time, we do. And again, I ain't gonna make it a black or white thing. Most women, you ask us to do something, we do it for you. We don't have a problem doing it. And so to hear a man say that she was shocked. She was like, oh wait, he actually want to do something for me? Yes, sure, whatever you need. That's what he said. Sure, whatever you need. So I thought that was an interesting perspective with between their characters. And he didn't want nothing from her. He was just a nice black man. He just a nice man, you know. And so they end up, you know, creating a friendship. And she told him, though, you're taking me to Colorado, because she knew he had came from Colorado, because he was like, the whole time when he was out of it, he kept saying he needed to get to Atlanta, he needed to get his wife. She broadcasted, he know his wife is alive. He came from Colorado. So her mission is to get to Colorado. His mission is to get to Atlanta. So she told him that. So he, you know, he ended up agreeing, you know. So first we'll go to Colorado, but then we got to go back and get my wife. Like, he agreed to that. And so they end up taking off, traveling. They didn't get to go far, because when they stopped, friend went into labor. They stopped two places. They stopped at this church and then they stopped at this diner, and that is when friend went into labor. Before that, you know, they were looking for food or whatnot, and it was another interesting perspective that Xavier displayed, where he taught her how to like bundle the baby up, how to wrap the baby. And it was a good distraction, but it was like teaching her, like, you have to, at this point, you're a mother and you're going to be scared all the time, and you have to at some point trust somebody, and this is I'm somebody you can trust. And he was showing her, you know, I'm a human, I have kids too, you know, so you could trust me with your baby. But anyway, Fran ended up going into labor. She didn't want to go into labor because she discovered the whole time that she had preeclampsia, because she was taking her blood pressure and everything. Her blood pressure was just sky high, ankles and stuff swollen. And any woman that knows about preeclampsia, that's like one of the worst things you can get while having a baby. Like, it's just, you could potentially pass away from it. And I want to say they have to do a C-section on you. I don't think you can actually push the baby out if you have preeclampsia, but I could be wrong. I'm not a doctor. I delivered my baby vaginally, but if I feel like, I feel like my mom, she had to have a C-section because she had preeclampsia with one of my siblings, if I can remember, but I was super young, so don't quote me on that. But anyway, so she got to push this baby out. It has to come out, but they're not doctors. So Xavier, like, he's running around the cafe. He's like trying to find shit. And he was like, you know what, at this point, because on their way to the cafe, they passed these people in this like wagon. And the whole time, Xavier, he don't give a damn, but y'all know Annie don't trust nobody. So before the people came, she was like, don't say nothing to them, don't make eye contact, don't make eye contact. He did the total opposite of what she told him to do. He made eye contact with these people, he spoke to these damn people, all that shit, and the people just passed by. They was looking at him, he was looking at them, and they just passed by. So anyway, he got the idea. He saw the people going up the hill. He was like, they going somewhere, so I'm about to go see what these people got to help her deliver this baby. And she was begging him, no, Xavier, please, no, no. It was like, Annie, they're just people. It was like, chill, girl. Like, they're just people. They're not monsters. They're not aliens. They're just people. They potentially can help us. And if they can't, then they can't. You know, that's the chance we have to take. That is what we have to do as human beings, is take chances with people, unfortunately. And so he left her. He was like, I promise I'll be back. He left. He went to the people. He ended up getting the fight with the son or whatever, because of course they don't know him. But he ended up in their house, and then he ended up telling them, my friend is in labor, I need y'all help. And whenever he said that, people came running. And one thing about it, again, us women, when it comes to stuff like that, we gonna help. We gonna help. It was like 3 other women there, and it was like a husband, and you know, they came right away. And when she seen them come through that door, she just it was just like a sigh of relief. You could tell, like, she was just like, thank God, you know. And I was saying the same thing. I'm like, thank God, because I thought Fred wasn't gonna make it after he had got in a fight with the little boy. I thought it was about to kill him, but they didn't, and they came to her rescue. They put all the stuff together. Even the husband, he was putting the tables and stuff together, getting ready for her to have a baby. They rubbing her back and stuff. They got clean towels and hot water, and it was just a moment of when we come together, we create something magical, you know. And I feel like that's so important with the times that we're going through right now. Like, you know, we should all be together. We should not be working against each other, you know. So, you know, I thought that was interesting. And so she done had the baby. The baby's here. The baby's perfect. You know, they help her deliver the baby, but then she gets these sharp pains, and it's because of preeclampsia. The placenta, was it the placenta ended up getting stuck or something like that? So they're trying, the women are trying to pull it out, and she's like, no, 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 leave me alone. One thing about it, doctors and nurses, when they know something is wrong and there's nothing else you can do, they're going to tell you there's nothing else you can do. Like, just leave it alone. Just let it go. Don't try to stress it. That's it. We done did everything. And she knew. She knew. And so Annie knew she was going to die. She did, and y'all, was in tears. I'm about to cry now. And she left this little note for her baby, and she trusted Xavier, because Xavier has already displayed this trust between him and her. And he was like, you really have to take care of her, and you really have to get her to Colorado with her father, Dylan, because y'all remember Dylan was going there. And so yeah, so Xavier ended up going back to the house with the people, and they buried Annie, and gave him some stuff. Like, they gave him like stuff for the baby, like bottles and diapers and shit like that. And he the one of the ladies, the wife, she told him, she was like, well, I used to be a teacher, and she offered to keep the baby there while he go and find his wife, because he told him that's what he was going to do. And he was like, nope, she trusted me with her, so I gotta take her. She was like, okay, well, we'll be here if you need us. If she start hollering, bring her on back here. We'll deal with it. We'll make do. We don't have a lot, but we'll make do. We'll make sure she okay. But he ended up taking her, and he ends up taking her with him, and he ends up running into what is his name? I need to get better at this by writing down these character names, y'all. He ends up running into the guy is his wife's best friend on the show. They end up connecting. What is his name? Hold on. They don't have him on here? Wait a minute, y'all. Gary. He meets Gary. And Gary is somebody that Terry, which that's the name of Xavier's wife, Terry ends up forming a friendship bond with. And he's like, your wife is my best friend in the whole wide world for 3 years. She's been my best friend for 3 years. And I just want to see where she is. She's been taken from me. And that is how the episode 4 ends. Y'all, I'm just like, so for the next, let me see. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4 more episodes. So yeah, that's how I'm gonna do it. I was gonna do, because I've already watched episode 5 and 6 and 7, and we're at 8. So, which I don't know why it's, anyway, that comes out on Monday. We're gonna try to get the next 4 reviews out. Comes out on Monday. I'm gonna try to film that night once I it comes out Monday at 12 a.m. so that means Tuesday. It comes out Tuesday. So I'm gonna try to film that night after I get through the episode, and we're gonna do a review. Like, girl, child, I'm enjoying this. It's a really good show. And again, it just shows humanity. Like, we real deal have to understand what times we are living in, and stop being selfish and start putting our feelings to the side and have some emotional intelligence and just like really like come together. But anyway, again, that's the first episode. That's the first review of Paradise. If you haven't watched the first 4 episodes, sorry, spoiler alert, but that doesn't mean you don't need to go back and watch it. Please go back and watch. Like, y'all are going to enjoy it. Please watch it, I'm telling you. And then next week, that is when we consume part 2 of Have Y'all Seen It on Paradise. Love y'all. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all give me some feedback, y'all. I want to continue to keep doing this. I want to stop. I want to stop doing the whole stopping and going thing, and so I want to be more consistent with this. So y'all give me some love, give me some feedback on this, and let me know what y'all think and y'all feelings on each episode. And you know, let's connect. Again, thank you for watching. This your favorite big sister here, Jet Carter, and we out till next week.